Well, good morning, church family. Welcome to this morning's morning moment. I want to kick us off by reading out of the book of Psalms. This is going to be Psalm 145. So I invite you to sit down with a cup of coffee or tea, get nice and comfortable, and let's prepare together to read the scriptures. It says, I will exalt you, my God, the King. I will praise your name forever and ever. Every day I will praise you, and I will extol your name forever and ever. Great is the Lord, and most worthy to be praised. His greatness no one can fathom. One generation commends your work to another. They tell of your mighty acts. They speak of your glorious splendor, of your majesty, and I will meditate on your wonderful works. They tell of the power of your awesome works, and I will proclaim your great deeds. They celebrate your abundant goodness and joyful singing of your righteousness. The Lord is gracious and compassionate. He is slow to anger, and he is rich in love. The Lord is good to all. He has compassion on all that he has made. All your works praise you, Lord. Your faithful people extol you. They tell the glory of your kingdom and speak of your might, so that all people may know of your mighty acts and the glorious splendor of your kingdom. Your kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and your dominion endures throughout all generations. The Lord is trustworthy in all he promises, and he is faithful in all that he does. I'm so grateful for this reminder this morning. About a month ago, my wife said to me, do you remember what we used to talk about before COVID? And of course, I thought about it and I said, no. What did we talk about? I'm sure you might have a similar experience that one day the subject of the coronavirus was kind of on the fringes of the newspaper, and then almost overnight it turned into this front page every single day for months. And it got to the point where I couldn't have a conversation, whether it was personal or professional, that wasn't in some way revolved around the subject. So my question for you this morning, question for me, question for us, is what have you learned during this time? It's true that there are no shortage of heavy and controversial topics these days, and of course, these conversations, they need to be had, but may I encourage us that as we do have these conversations, that we first start by inviting God into those thoughts and into those conversations, to let his thoughts intersect with our thoughts, his heart to intersect with our heart, for his kingdom to infiltrate our reality. This psalm says to meditate on his wonderful works. Do we even consider what God thinks about these subjects that we're talking about? And I need to be mindful about the things that occupy my mind. I need to think twice about the things that I think about. So the first question is, what have you learned during this time? Second question is, what are we teaching? In many respects, I've been thinking about this a lot, that in many respects our culture is being reshaped by these recent events. And these are the things that are going to be passed down to the next generation. Not only what we think, but the way and the manner in which we are thinking is going to be taught to the next generation. This psalm, I love this line in the psalm. It says that one generation commends your work to another. They tell of your mighty acts. Are we telling the next generation about how good God is, how faithful he is, how trustworthy he is? I want to show you something, a quick little clip. This was taken when we first started recording our worship services remotely, and I was getting ready to record my part in my living room, and this just sort of happened while I was sound checking. Check this out. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. And of course, I wasn't intentionally teaching him. He was just catching on. Even as a 1-year-old, he is learning from me and from my wife. And I want him to know, as he grows up, that whatever he faces, that in times of crisis, that he can call on God because God cares for him. So with all the uncertainty in this world right now, we got to remember that God is trustworthy and that his promises are true, that he is faithful. And may that be the starting point in everything that we face, in every conversation that we have, every thought that we have. May we say, God, have your way with my thoughts, have your way with my actions, have your way with me, have your way with us. The Lord is with you today, and may we be mindful of that. God bless you.